Hello, I'm Pierre-Alain Chevalier, and in today's video, triads. What are triads? Firstly, triads are a type of chord. A chord is a single instance of harmony. You can play all the pitches in the chord at the same time, or you can stagger them in arpeggiation. There's lots you can do, but if you change a pitch, you change the chord. What type of chord is a triad? Well, a triad is 3 pitches stacked and thirds. If we start on C and go up a major third, we have an E. Up a minor third from E, we get a G, and thus we have a C major triad. The term major describes the quality of the triad. There are 4 different possible qualities of triads: major, minor, diminished, and augmented. You may remember these terms from my previous video. If you didn't already, you can check it out here. Looking at our first example, a major triad has a major third on the bottom and a minor third on the top. Changing the arrangement of the major or minor thirds changes the quality of the triad. A minor third beneath a major third gives you a minor triad. You might be able to guess what configuration gives you a diminished triad or an augmented triad. Remember the interval quality chart from my video? Diminished means smaller and augmented means larger. If we stack 2 minor thirds, we get a diminished triad. 2 major thirds, an augmented triad. In all of these instances, the bottom note is the root of the chord. The middle note in the chord is called the third because it's a third above the root. The top note is called the fifth because it's a fifth above the root. You can rearrange these pitches however you like. You can double notes at the octave, create more space between the notes. But if you put the middle note or the top note, the third or the fifth, on the bottom of the chord, you've now changed the inversion. If we start with a C major triad, but add an E below the root, which is C, we still have a C major triad, but now it's in first inversion. You might see it written like this, or like this. If we add a G below the root instead, it's still a C major triad, but now it's in second inversion. You might see it written like this, or like this. If you see 3 pitches and aren't sure which chord you're looking at because the notes are spread far apart or they're in an inversion, just remember the following pattern. C, E, G, B, D, F, A. What was that? C, E, G, B, D, F, A. C, E, G... C, E, G, B, D, F, A. We have another handy circle, this time for keeping track of thirds. C, E, G, B, D, F, A, C, E, G, D, B. It goes on forever. This is how you use it. In this example, there are 3 pitches spread across the entire grand staff. This is a B, here's an E, and up here is a G. If we highlight the notes in our circle of thirds, we can see that the root is E, the third is G, and the fifth is B. This is an E triad in second inversion because the B is on the bottom. But what's the quality? To figure out the quality, we have to go back and figure out the quality of the thirds. E to G is a minor third. G to B is a major third. So we have a minor triad. In the original form, with B on the bottom, we have an E minor triad in second inversion. One last trick of the trade before you go. Yes, you can figure out the quality of the triad by looking at the thirds that built it. But there's a shortcut. Just like intervals, you can use the major scale to your advantage when trying to figure out a triad's quality. First, superimpose the major scale of the triad's root note. If the third and the fifth of the triad match the major scale, then you have a major triad. If the third of the triad is a half step lower than the third in the major scale, or put another way, if the third in the triad matches the third in a minor scale, then you have a minor triad. If the third and the fifth are both lowered a half step compared to the major scale, then you have a diminished triad. If the fifth is raised a half step, then you have an augmented triad. This is just one more of the many ways the major scale comes in handy. All right, so that's triads. Yeah, there are other chords with 4, 5, even 6 or 7 pitches in them. But before you can understand those, you've got to understand triads. We've covered a lot of information here, so if you're confused by any of it, please feel free to leave a question in the comments below. And if you're feeling a little shy about asking your question, please don't be shy. Ask your question. If you're wondering something, it's very likely someone else has the same question. I hope you found this video informative and helpful. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up and consider sharing it with your musically curious friends. And if you'd like to come back for more music theory content, I ask you to consider subscribing, and don't forget to ring the bell for notifications. Thanks so much for watching. I hope this video brought you closer to understanding the music you love.